Miss Kaylee here, and today we are on Unit 9, Session 3. And as always, we get to share with you a true story from the Bible. And today, that story is from the book of Ruth. And the book of Ruth is right after the book of Judges in the Old Testament. And so if you have a Bible, pick it up, open it to the book of Ruth so that you're ready to read and receive the story we have for you today. And so I want to start off with a question for you all, and that question is this. Why do you think it is so important for us to know that the Bible is true? Well, it's so important because we need to know that the Bible is true so that we can trust the Bible, so that we can trust God's Word. And today in the book of Ruth, we get to learn about this woman named Ruth who was in a desperate situation, but God helps her and redeems her through this situation. And it's a beautiful story, but it reminds me about God's promises to us to help us and save us if we ask Him. God makes a lot of promises in the Bible. And the beautiful thing is, God always fulfills those promises. And you'll see that today in the book of Ruth. So I can't wait for you to learn more about that. See you soon.
Hello friends, it's me, Megan.
Hi, I'm Jessie. Megan, try some of these blueberries I picked.
Ooh, okay. Yum. Thank you, Jessie. I love blueberries. You picked these?
Yep. A bunch of our friends went to a blueberry farm and we picked so many blueberries.
Wow, I'm sure that was so fun.
It was, but I ate so many blueberries my teeth turned blue.
Whoa. Understandable. In today's Bible story, a woman named Ruth went out into a field, but she wasn't picking blueberries. She was gathering grain so she and her mother-in-law would have food to eat. Let me tell you how God used Ruth in His plan. Naomi's family members were Israelites, but there was not enough food in the land. They decided to leave the promised land and go to Moab, where they could find food. Naomi's husband died in Moab, and her sons got married. Their wives' names were Orpah and Ruth. Then Naomi's sons died too. Naomi, Orpah, and Ruth were all alone. Naomi wanted to go home to the promised land. God's people had food now. Naomi told Orpah and Ruth to go back to their families. The women were very sad to leave each other. Orpah went home, but Ruth would not leave Naomi. Ruth said, "Wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." So Naomi and Ruth went back to Judah. Ruth and Naomi needed food, so Ruth went to a field to gather leftover grain. The field was owned by a man named Boaz. Boaz saw Ruth working. He had heard how kind Ruth was to Naomi, and he told Ruth to stay in his field. Boaz made sure Ruth was safe and had food. Ruth took grain home to Naomi and told her about Boaz. "Boaz is a close relative," Naomi said. "He is one of our family redeemers." A family redeemer was someone who helped his relatives if they needed help. Naomi knew Boaz would be a good husband for Ruth, so she gave Ruth special instructions. Ruth put on her best clothes and did everything Naomi told her to do. She showed Boaz that she wanted to be his wife. Ruth told Boaz, "You are a family redeemer." Boaz made an agreement in front of the town's leaders. He promised to redeem Ruth, which meant he would buy back the land that Naomi lost after her husband died, and he would marry Ruth. Boaz married Ruth, and they had a baby boy named Obed. When Obed grew up, He was the father of Jesse, who was the father of King David. Boaz was a family redeemer. He helped his close relatives. Boaz bought back what his relatives lost. Jesus is our Redeemer. He bought our salvation by dying on the cross for our sin.
Naomi lived in the land of Judah with her husband and 2 sons. There was a famine in the land, so Naomi and her family decided to go to Moab. While they were there, Naomi's husband died. Naomi's sons married women from Moab, Orpah and Ruth. They all lived in Moab for 10 years, and then Naomi's sons died. Naomi, Orpah, and Ruth were all alone. Since the famine was over, Naomi decided to go home to Judah. The women were very sad to leave each other. Orpah returned home, but Ruth clung to Naomi. Ruth said, "Wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." So Naomi and Ruth returned to the land of Judah together. Ruth and Naomi needed food, so Ruth went into the fields to gather fallen grain. She happened to go to the field of Boaz, a good man from the family of Naomi's late husband. Boaz saw Ruth in his field. He had heard about Ruth and how she had been kind to Naomi, so Boaz told Ruth to stay in his field. Boaz made sure Ruth was safe and had enough food. After Ruth gathered grain, she went back to Naomi and told her about Boaz. "He is one of our family redeemers," Naomi explained. A family redeemer was someone who would help his close relatives if they were in trouble. Naomi wanted to make sure Ruth had a husband to care for her, so she gave Ruth special instructions. Ruth put on her best clothes and laid down near Boaz's feet. In this way, Ruth showed Boaz that she hoped he would marry her. Boaz was surprised to see Ruth there. Ruth explained, "You are a family redeemer." So Boaz stood before the elders in the town and made an agreement. He promised to redeem Ruth, which meant he would buy back the land that Naomi lost after her husband died, and he would marry Ruth. Later, Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed. When Obed grew up, he was the father of Jesse, who was the father of King David. Boaz was a family redeemer. He helped his close relatives who were in trouble. Boaz cared for Ruth and Naomi because their husbands had died. In a similar way, Jesus is our Redeemer. We need help because we sin. Jesus bought our salvation for us by taking our punishment when he died on the cross.